Friday night, our championship preview show. Time to move on to the 2A state title game between Tarboro and Newton-Conover. The Red Devils got back to the big game for the first time since 2000 when they lost. Current coach Nick Basil was coaching back then in his second season with star quarterback Kurt Dukes. Now, one of the ball boys on that team was his son and current quarterback A.J. Basil. That championship game was in Chapel Hill, and unfortunately, as we said, they lost. In a bit of irony, tonight's game was also played in Chapel Hill, but this time it was AJ's turn to try to help bring a title back to Newton.
Yeah, no water boy, no more. No. Newton-Conover started the season with questions on the offensive line, but they found answers quickly and have rolled. With the exception of one hiccup in the playoffs, the Red Devils have simply been on fire. Let's take a look at the tail of the tape for tonight's matchup. Tarboro Vikings coming in tonight 14-1. Take a look at that playoff run, Delano. They can rack up points and hold their opponent to just a few, but what's on the other side of this ball tonight, D?
All right, that's a third title game appearance for Tarboro. For Newton-Conover, it's their second title game appearance. As you take a look at their playoff run, they're averaging 49 points per game in the postseason. Running back Dorian Jones, entering tonight, had 1,990 yards rushing and 22 touchdowns. Quarterback A.J. Basil, 1,153 yards passing, 790 yards rushing, so he can do it with his arms and legs, and 23 touchdowns. Not many bumps in the road for Newton-Conover, but there was one, and that was their key moment this season. Back on October 17th, the Red Devils lost their only game of the season to High Brighton, 26-21. Before that loss, they had beaten some great teams like Hickory, East Burke, Maiden, Fred T. Ford, and East Lincoln, who was in the 2AA state title game. That loss seemed to refocus the team, and since then, the offense has been scoring 48 points per game. With that in mind, Coach Nick Basil was not concerned about his team freezing up in the biggest game in school history.
This is such a big goal of theirs. It's in the forefront of their mind right now, and that's what keeps me confident. Not that we're going to go out there and win on Friday. I know this, though. I know my kids are going to play hard. I don't worry about that. They're going to play smart, and they're going to play hard. They're going to play to win. We're playing a good team. Tarboro is a great football team. Our best might not be good enough to beat them, but I don't have to worry about our kids going out there and not playing hard. That's going to happen because they want I don't know if I've ever seen a team that I've had want something so bad.
All right. Deep emotions from that coach.
Definitely.
Good, better, best, better than the rest. All right, time to get down to business. The 2A state title game between Newton-Conover and Tarboro. Let's go live to Chapel Hill where Brian Stevenson has the all-important game story, donning the hat again, looking cool. Go ahead, B. Tell us what the story was.
That's right. It's a cold night, Delano. You got to break out the hat, the gloves, and everything. You know, here in Tar Heel land, it's a lot of Carolina blue around. But after tonight's game, there might be just a little tinge of red. In the stands, the Red Devil fans were ready. In the Keenan Stadium locker room, Coach Nick Basil wanted to make sure his players were just as ready.
Tonight's going to be your night, fellas. It's going to be your night. We're going to praise you for it. When you get through with this thing, we're going to raise our hands high because we're #1 in the state 2A.
Now 48 minutes and a team from Tarboro stands between Newton-Conover and a state title. Second possession for Newton-Conover. They start on their own 42. A.J. Basil with the pitch to Dorian Jones. And the Red Devils move into Viking territory. It's a familiar combination that goes 11 plays and 58 yards, capped off by Dorian Jones, diving into the end zone. 7-0 Newton-Conover. Still first quarter, Brandon Dozier breaks off the big run before being knocked out. Drive continues into second quarter. Demarius Harper to the 4. He'd eventually score, and the game is tied at 7. Newton-Conover gets the ball back. Josh Thompson up the gut for a gain of 17 and a first down. Red Devils marching. Basil with the pitch to Wesley Height around the right side. He dives for the corner. He's in. Touchdown. Newton-Conover retakes the lead, 14-7. Next Red Devil possession. They go to the air with a little Basil dazzle. The pitch to Josh Thompson. The throw. Jordan Hill comes down with it. 42 yards on the play. It's just a play we've had. We hardly ever run it. We decided to run it. I just threw it. I tried to make a great throw. Next play, they'll get it in. Watch the blocking as Josh Thompson this time finds the end zone. 21-7. That's the score at the half. Third quarter, Newton-Conover moves the ball again with ease, but the drive stalls. Spencer Lindquist comes on. 35-yard attempt. It's good. Newton-Conover up 24-7. You're starting to see the picture of how this game played out. Josh Thompson with the strong run for 20 yards and a first down, Red Devils. Next play, the slick handoff to Dorian Jones, who weaves his way 22 yards into the end zone. 31-7, Newton-Conover up. Next play for the Vikings, they're pinned deep, and Jordan Hill gets the pick six. PAT no good, 37-7, and the celebration starts early tonight. Newton-Conover all over Tarboro, 51-28 tonight. They win the state 2A championship.
I can't explain it, man. It's the greatest feeling in the world. It's unbelievable. And this town deserves it. These kids deserve it. These assistant coaches deserve it. It's just unbelievable. I can't believe I'm standing here right now as a state champion.
And a state champion indeed. Great job for Coach Nick Basil. Those guys were so excited tonight, so focused on getting to this game, winning. Had to be some great father-son moments as well. It was just a festive atmosphere from about the start of the fourth quarter on up here, guys. The 28 points kind of all by the way touchdowns, as maybe Newton-Conover lost a little bit of focus in the fourth quarter there, but a dominating performance all night long, and certainly exciting to see our first state championship this year. We have 4 more teams from our area. We'll wish them well. Starting tomorrow morning, that's East Lincoln, starting at 11 a.m. But a big victory for Newton-Conover tonight. We're live in Chapel Hill. I'm Brian Stevenson for Football Friday Night.
Hey, Brian, let me ask you a quick question. I know the Keenan Stadium, the size of the arena, was it drowned out at all, the Newton-Conover fans in the big arena, or was it just emotional, very festive there?
To the contrary, Delano, it seemed to really resonate inside the stadium with the concrete and everything. Newton-Conover brought a great crowd. I doubt if there's anyone back in town tonight. Maybe the police are minding the store, if you will. But a great crowd from here tonight. As soon as they saw the Red Devils leave the locker room, the cheers really came up, and you could tell they were in this one all night. And certainly the guys on the field were feeling that 12th man up in the stands tonight.
All right, Brian, great job. A great job all season long covering the games, and we really appreciate everything. Have a safe trip back. So Newton-Conover takes advantage of a second chance. Of course, they lost back in 2000 to Southwest Onslow. They come back and win it. By the way, Dorian Jones, 157 yards rushing tonight, 2 touchdowns. He was voted most